On today's episode of Secrets to Scaling Your E-commerce Brand, I had a chance to chat with Noah Tucker from Social Snowball. We had such a good conversation all about what the affiliate landscape is looking like. We talked about this just insane strategy that we are in the midst of testing right now at one of our brands. And this strategy that really turns content creators into salespeople for you. It's like in my head, almost MLM-ish without actual MLM kind of stuff behind it. Hopefully it doesn't turn you off from listening, because it is like, I think one of those strategies that we're going to look back on and say like, oh, wow, in 5 or 10 years of like, oh, remember when we were able to do that. So you guys are not going to want to miss this one. Hey guys, Jordan West back with another episode of Secrets to Scaling Your E-commerce Brand. I am really looking forward to this conversation today. I'm going to just do a little preface before I bring Noah on here. I've looked at running. Actually, sorry, let me take a step back here. There's something broken working with influencers, and I have noticed it for years. There is something broken. There is a very strange relationship between brands and influencers that I really believe is toxic. Influencers are trying to get as much as they can out of brands, and brands are trying to get as much as they can out of influencers. And to me, that's just not win-win. It doesn't make sense. And so when I, started looking and thinking like, well, hey, why do we not just pay them based on performance like most other industries? Like, why do we not do that? And so I asked this question on Twitter. This is probably 6 months ago or something. And what can we do about this? And people are like, they just continually were tagging Social Snowball. And I'm like, well, what makes this better than Shopify had bought Dovetail last year, became collabs.
Yep.
And I'm like, why would I use Social Snowball? Oh, honestly, I just didn't even look at it, because I was like, oh, it's just another app out there that's just trying to do that. Until I actually dug into it and I was like, oh, I get it. I really get it. And guys, this is not like, they're not sponsors or anything like that. We have a great relationship, but just so you guys know, they're not paying me to say anything like this. It's so different. And so that's why I'm like, oh, I gotta have Noah on the podcast. So anyway, without further ado, Noah, what's your last? Oh, Noah Tucker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever listened to this podcast before, but I am, it's professional in its, what we try and deliver. But every once in a while, I everyone knows I'm not AI. So there we go. Noah, for people who know nothing about you or anything about Social Snowball, tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Dude, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Second of all, that was probably the best intro anyone's ever made. So I feel like really good about myself right now. So thank you for that incredible intro. So yeah, I'm the founder of Social Snowball. The quick version is we're an affiliate and referral marketing platform for e-commerce. I've been in the e-commerce space for like 5 years before I even started building Social Snowball. So kind of built it out of my own needs, because I was running other affiliate programs using other softwares and kind of fed up with the lack of functionality that I was looking for. And that's what led me on the journey to building something better.
Well, Noah, I'm really looking forward to talking to you, because now that you're talking in 1.5, just like I do. And so this conversation is going to be like really, really great. Sometimes people talk so slow and I'm like, all right. You can get the point out a little faster, right?
Agreed. I watch my looms in 1.5, so I just got used to talking in 1.5.
Yeah, nice. That's great. I do that as well. So Noah, let's talk affiliate program. Why did you build this out? What did you see that was missing in the market? Like, I think that was the biggest thing. Like I talked about in the intro there. I'm like, who is this for? Like, what? Like, why did you build another program like this? I feel like I get it now, but I want to hear it from you, the founder, of like, what did you see that was missing?
Totally. So I think like the macro trend that I realized was like the type of affiliate that brands partner with has changed a lot over the past like 10 years. So if you were to say the word affiliate to anyone in e-commerce like 10 years ago, the only affiliate a brand is really partnering with is what I now refer to as the legacy affiliate. And under that umbrella, there's like publishers, bloggers, listicles, like these top 10 review sites. That was like what an affiliate was. And today, those types of affiliates are still relevant and they're still important, but there's also undeniably like this new type of affiliate that is, kind of taking over by storm and driving a lot of revenue for brands. And this is what I refer to as the modern affiliate. And underneath that umbrella, it's like social media influencers, creators, even a brand's own customers and ambassadors can be affiliates. So, these two types of affiliates, they're very different. And what you would need to facilitate a successful partnership with each type of affiliate from a technology standpoint is also very different. So What I was doing, back when I was on the brand side of the e-commerce world is I was trying to build these affiliate programs, but I was, wanting to partner with influencers and ambassadors, but I was using technology and platforms that were really built for that legacy affiliate, like
Yeah.
publishers. And when you try to
Share a
onboard
sale.
like exactly, tools like that.
That's such a good
So when you
example
would,
of like the garbage that, I mean, share sale is all that publishers use, right? Like you have to be on share sale,
yes,
but it's like,
totally,
no one can tell me that's a good experience. That's a have to
exactly.
experience.
Exactly. And like it's already a bad enough experience if you're partnering with publishers, but if you try to onboard like a customer or like a TikTok creator onto that platform, like it is just the worst possible experience you can imagine. Everything doesn't work, everything breaks, everyone's confused,
Yeah.
both on the merchant side, on the affiliate side. So essentially like Social Snowball, it's the first affiliate platform for e-commerce that's just laser focused on enabling partnerships with this new type of affiliate. Everything from the user experience to the UI to the actual functionality. We've really rebuilt things from the ground up with the traditional affiliate program so that it works well when you're trying to turn customers into affiliates or partner with creators or others. The experience they need is really important. And this new demographic of affiliates is also a lot more sensitive to user experience. And, if you're working with a customer, they're used to the smooth checkout experience that, they went through on your website. Or if you're working with a creator, they're used to the interface of TikTok and Instagram, which is like top notch. So if you try to onboard them to something like Carousel, like you mentioned, it's not going to be a smooth experience. So Social Snowball is basically the first affiliate platform for D2C that's just focused on this new type of affiliate.
Yeah. And guys, as a user of Social Snowball, I cannot believe the amount of different use cases that we've realized. Like, oh my gosh, we can turn these people into affiliates. We can have like a tier for this level of affiliate. I'd love for you to tell me a use case that people are using that will absolutely will absolutely blow our
Woo!
users and listeners, listeners' mind. Okay.
Keep it raw. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think a huge one, I think I mentioned already really briefly, like a huge use case that a lot of people don't even consider with affiliate marketing is turning customers into affiliates. Because when it comes to customer programs, everyone is already running, or most brands at least are already running some sort of loyalty program, or maybe they even have a refer a friend program, but those refer a friend programs are terrible. I mean, they're like the only incentives for people to refer friends are like points or coupons. And,
Yeah.
those can be an incentive sometimes, but they're not even close to as much of an incentive as cash. When you're treating customers as actual affiliates and, able to bring them into an actual affiliate program, the actual customer acquisition difference between that and like a loyalty based referral program is insane. And it makes sense why. Like think of, let's say you have a lower LTV brand and your incentive to refer a friend is a coupon off your next purchase. Well, if it's a furniture brand and you bought one couch once, maybe you're a huge fan of the brand, but you don't need a coupon off your next purchase because it's a low LTV brand. People aren't buying that second time, but you still want to capture that referral value from your customer base.
Yeah.
Or let's say you're a higher LTV brand, like a normal LTV brand, and your friend and a customer has already referred 3 friends and now has 3 coupons sitting in their account. Are they really going to be motivated to drive that fourth, fifth, sixth referral? Probably not, because they don't want more coupons. Like they already have like
Yeah.
a few that they're waiting for. But when the incentive is replaced with cash and we're bringing customers into the actual affiliate, the affiliate program, like there's the demand remains constant no matter what. They could have referred 20 people. They still want that 21st referral. And it doesn't matter the LTV of the brand, because we're not treating a referral program, which is essentially like a customer acquisition channel, as a loyalty program. I mean, don't get me wrong, a loyalty program is very valuable, but it just has different goals and different metrics that you're using to measure its success than, a referral program versus a loyalty program. So we kind of view turning customers into affiliates as like a huge unlock for brands. And it has been truly. So, with Social Snowball, we have a lot of cool tools around this that, like we have this awesome thank you page feature and integrations with, Klaviyo or SendLane for post-purchase touch points, where essentially every new customer who makes a purchase on your store, we can automatically create them an affiliate account, automatically create them a code and link to share, give that to them right on the thank you page as soon as they complete the purchase, so they could share without having to fill out any application form or ambassador sign up or even fill out a pop-up or anything. And then have those additional follow-up touch points in the post-purchase journey through, let's say, Klaviyo or SendLane, emails, SMS, so that, you could send them reminders with their code, explain more how the program works. And it's been a huge unlock for merchants. Like customers can be great affiliates. You have to treat them like actual affiliates and not just throw them in a loyalty program. And the difference in results is just astounding.
It really is. Like I want to talk to it from the brand side. So I forget exactly how long we've now been kind of ramping ours up, and we have all sorts of different tiers that we're testing out. And I'm actually like, guys, what I'm really seeing actually with this is like, this is a new wave of acquisition, right? This is really tapping into the customers you already have, what you're already doing, and then supercharging that. I think this is the crazy thing. And so selfishly, I'm working with Noah and his team on this stuff for one of our brands. But I mean, selfishly, I want to build this out as a service at Upgrowth because I really truly believe that there is something incredibly special about what is happening here. I mean, I heard about this from Rob over at whatever his brand is called now. Endure? No, Outweigh.
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 Yeah. Used to be in there. Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. I'm sure you don't listen to this, but if you did, you'd know I totally forgot. But I saw Rob talking it up and how much revenue he was able to produce and drive from this. And guys, this is the crazy thing about this affiliate revenue. It's not just attributable revenue. It's actually incremental revenue that we're seeing. We're seeing
Yes.
incremental new customers coming in. We've had the lowest NCAC that we have had in the past 2 months in since pre-iOS 14.5. We haven't seen new customer acquisition cost this low in a long time. And really the biggest difference is the affiliate program.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love to hear that. I also want to hear more about like the program you're running. I've heard briefly from my team, but it seems like you guys are like crushing.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you about one of these ideas, but
Sure.
I read like let's get into this one. So you had a great little lead magnet a little while ago on Twitter with a case study that somebody was doing and
Yeah.
where they were tapping into TikTok creators.
Yes.
And it's brilliant. Noah, like honestly, I have told so many people about this idea, and don't worry, I credit you. Okay. I'm like, I got this idea from Social Snowball. Anyway, here's my brilliant idea. And it's like actually blows people's mind of like, what we can do this. Can we get into this idea? Like, I'd love for you to
Totally.
explain what this exactly looks like because it makes me feel wicked smart even knowing about the idea.
It's so new right now. And like you're saying, like brands are using this to generate, obviously it's a customer acquisition channel. The new customer acquisition, like it's very, very inexpensive and it's insane. And this type of strategy allows you to do it at scale. So yeah, I'm super excited about the strategy too. We created that piece of content. Obviously it's a great lead magnet for us, but like we are distributing that and like kind of making all of our customers read it as well, because like it's just so new and it's so untapped and it's working so well that like we want everyone that's using Social Snowball to give it a try because it really has just the results have been insane. So
Yeah.
essentially what this looks like is, you know, you're partnering with TikTok creators, but these creators don't have to have a following. They don't need to have an audience. They just need to be able to create content. Obviously the people who could create the better content will do better with this kind of thing. And so you're going to partner with a ton of these creators on an, yeah. Right.
I just want to step in on this is like classic secrets to scaling. I just like interrupt people all the time as we're going through. So one of the interesting things here, right, with these people is that they may or may not know how to like actually get out there, right? Like they may not know how to go viral. They might have just like by chance done it. We just choose people that were like, I think you've got it. Then we actually give them, this is a little addendum to what you're doing. We give them a TikTok go viral course that we purchased that is phenomenal. We vetted a bunch of them and this one is like so good and we make them go through the course before they start. It's by One Peak Creative.
Okay. I actually haven't seen that, but that's super cool.
I'll send it over to you. I'll send you the link after it. And guys, sorry.
Totally.
I'll put the link in the show notes. Chill out. Okay. So, sorry. Yeah, continue on, Noah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So anything you can do to obviously like educate these creators to create better content, like that's the ROI on that's going to be insane. But essentially what these creators doing, and that's unique about the strategy, is they're not creating content on their own social media profiles. They're actually going ahead and they're creating essentially a branded profile for the brand. So, you know, if this was like, you know, I have a Yeti water bottle next to me. So if this was Yeti that was doing the strategy and they were partnering with 100 creators, each creator would create their own Yeti TikTok page for this strategy. So one would be like Yeti underscore or like Yeti dot, you know, like anything you could do. It doesn't matter the actual handle, but everyone is creating like a branded, essentially, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, you know, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, all three branded page for the brand. And then they are going ahead and they're all creating content for the brand. And some of that content they're going to completely create from scratch. Some of it could be repurposed content. I've seen a lot of brands that are successful with this create like a bank of content, like in a Google Drive or something that they're providing to the affiliates. So the affiliates can use that for not only inspiration, but they can even actually chop up some of that content and incorporate it into the content that they're filming and use that to kind of just elevate their content.
Yeah.
And eventually,
I want to step in for one sec because I just thought of something with
yes,
this. And I'm sure as soon as you said repurposed, I was like, so here's like a new, I'm literally coming to this as we're talking here, but if you guys don't know about repurpose.io, using repurpose.io with a trigger from TikTok. So if they create on TikTok, they trigger as soon as that's triggered to then, because TikTok, in my opinion, it's best to get it done all on TikTok first, because they're the ones that are, yeah, like I would create my content on TikTok, repurpose.io, then as soon as you publish, can then move that over to Insta and then over to Shorts as well. That
amazing.
will
Yeah.
save your creators a ton of time and will be super effective. Sorry.
Yeah. I know. I like that. I've actually never heard of that tool. So that sounds like very relevant. But yeah, so exactly. The creators are creating content, they're repurposing some existing content that the brand's providing them. And then they're just posting like there's no tomorrow on all these branded pages. So every creator has their own branded page on Instagram, TikTok, and Shorts. And they're just posting content. And in their content, as well as in their bio, they have their affiliate links and codes. So whenever, the name of the game is doing this at scale. If each creator, let's say you have 100 creators, they're all posting 3 pieces of content a day, and all 3 pieces of content are going on Reels, Shorts, and TikTok. And these creators know what they're doing. Like you will have content go viral. It's just simply, the
If
algorithm.
the math is there, of course,
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
yeah,
It will. It just
and then
simply will.
train them to go
Right.
viral too, right? And then you're
Of
like,
course. Exactly.
yeah,
And so the creators, once they start to have content go viral or even like semi-viral, the sales are usually flooding in through their affiliate links and codes. And so the creators, like when they have one video pop off, they're earning, potentially thousands of dollars, which means you're earning, a multiple of that. And that's just like insane for the brands because, if you scale this up and you have multiple hundreds, even thousands of creators doing this, and you're having like a few viral videos or even more per week, that's meaningful. Like that's pretty meaningful customer acquisition channel. The more success you have, the more that the affiliate, they're motivated to continue creating content. And then they'll start to learn the type of content that goes viral and they'll create better content that's more likely to go viral. And this strategy, like brands have been scaling this up with thousands of creators. Some brands, if you search their brand name on TikTok, you could literally scroll forever because there's just so many branded TikTok pages that these creators have made. And a lot of them are making a lot of money and it becomes like a really meaningful, considerable acquisition channel for these brands.
it's yeah, it's a brilliant idea. I mean, the one that you had, I think they only had the one in your case study, they only had like 20 creators.
Was that Sweet Dreams?
Yeah, right.
They might have like 20 super active ones. I think they at one point maybe like they had some other like a bigger amount of creators, and then some of them just weren't as successful, and they had like 20 that were like just crushing it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some brands literally do this with hundreds, if not
It,
thousands, honestly.
so think about this, and remember, this is coming from a guy whose agency spends in the millions of dollars a month on ads. But just imagine taking a portion of your budget and hiring an assistant to just reach out to people. Like find an assistant, maybe it's like $1,000 a month that you're paying, and just have them reach out to creators. Give them a short sort of, bio of kind of the type of person you're looking for. And this is just a numbers game, right? Like this is how you can scale up your program like absolutely crazy and then be everywhere. You're just like everywhere for your target demo, which is
Yeah.
just absolutely incredible. Noah, you want to share a case study with me about brands that have come over to you guys and started to see some good scale?
Sure. I mean, I think, we were already talking about Sweet Dreams. They're a great case study because they've implemented this exact strategy. They've done a really great job with the strategy and they are a CBD product. So there is a bit of gray. The reason that they're so focused on these strategies, like the CBD products and like, other products that might be like difficult to run paid ads for is because they have limited choices with customer acquisition. So, most brands, I would still recommend setting this up, but it's like maybe less of a pressing issue for them because they also can run ads. Imagine these brands that, are selling like CBD or, other marijuana products, they can't run ads on a lot of channels. So they kind of like are forced to get creative with customer acquisition. which is really cool because that's how, these strategies come out of like when a brand is like needing to find a way to acquire customers. Like that's when people really get creative. If a brand is already doing really well with Facebook and TikTok and just wants to diversify their customer acquisition, it's less likely that they're going to come up with something as like cool and unique as this. So that's why I'm like always appreciative of these brands that are forced to go outside and figure out these new customer acquisition strategies, because then every brand can apply it. It could work for any brand. It's just like
Yeah.
these brands like are so almost like desperate to find new ways to acquire customers. That's what births these. So anyway, Sweet Dreams, CBD products, it's like CBD melatonin sleep gummies. They do 25% of total revenue just through this TikTok strategy. And I mean, it could be even more now, but that's last time I checked. They rely very heavily on creators. 25% of GMV comes just from
But 25% of attributable
attributable.
revenue.
Right. That's correct. That is
Because
correct.
imagine what the actual like, and so this is the difference. This is the difference when I see like with an affiliate program like this, because your attributable, your actual driven revenue is way higher than your attributable revenue because of the amount, especially with TikTok. Like, there's no way that people are just clicking on that link. Like, the amount of view through conversions and direct traffic that you're probably going to produce from this is astronomical. I personally don't ever look for coupon codes. Like there's a lot of people, and I mean, sort of depending on what your demographic is, right? A lot of people are just like, oh, that looks awesome. I need to remember that for later. Right. And they won't
Yeah.
click on the affiliate link versus on the paid side, we have a ton of attribution issues that we're over, especially Facebook. I mean, guys, Facebook just over attributes all the time, especially with their view through kind of stuff. So yeah, so this is like almost like turning that completely around.
Yeah, I mean, totally, totally. And I think like, well, so I would say just one thing you mentioned with the links, I would agree if it was just affiliate links for attribution, especially on like, mobile first platforms, these short form videos, like people are not clicking links necessarily and buying in the same browser on their phone. But that being said, when you're using coupon incentives or even our safe links, which are like links that'll generate unique codes for every shopper, when there's a coupon incentive tied to the attribution method, it's more likely to hop from one platform to another because there's the incentive tied to it. So if someone's, views a TikTok or like a short on their phone and then wants to buy later and they see there's a coupon attached to it, like there's a better chance that you'll attribute that sale. Of course, you're never getting 100%, but at least it lets you get a little bit closer.
Yeah. I mean, and really, guys, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to see, like, is this driving incremental revenue, right? Like, and we're getting as close as we can to that. Noah, I got to ask you the question that I ask everyone that comes on the podcast. What is your secret to scaling?
So, I mean, secret to scaling Social Snowball, like or secret.
I can't say anything more.
You
I'm
can't
sorry.
clarify. Okay.
I can't
Okay.
clarify. It's just not, it wouldn't be fair after 500 episodes. I've never clarified before. So,
Okay. Okay. Fair. So I will just take, I'll take it as that, I guess. So to scale Social Snowball, we just create like, it's actually a lot of what we've been talking about. We create a lot of educational content. We could provide the best software and the coolest tools ever for affiliate marketing. But if people don't know the strategies to implement, like they're not going to be successful with our product. So we put a ton of focus into educating people on these different strategies that we've seen working and partnering with brands on and, creating case studies on how they've been successful and then just distributing that content as wide as possible. And if someone who's never heard of Social Snowball finds that content, thinks it's awesome, wants to try the strategy, like we hope that they'll end up using Social Snowball when they're ready to, actually implement it. So that's been like a huge unlock for us.
I think that there's something super meta here as well, that like as an affiliate software, you guys are really good at empowering people. It's funny. I don't even think I'm an actual affiliate of you guys, but I talk about you legitimately all the time. And it's
Oh, you're the
because
best.
of, it's because of a couple of the only reason, guys, the only reason I'll ever like try to get attribution for anything is not to get paid. It's so that the company knows I'm sending people their way. That's the only other time where I'll be like, hey, no, I sent that person to you, just so you know. So because there's a great software company that they're like, Jordan, you haven't sent us anyone recently. And I was like, yeah, I've sent you like 50 people recently. I just didn't tell you. Okay. You know who you are if you're listening. I love you. But interestingly, some of the things that you guys have done really well on the affiliate side, I mean, I've thought about this with the partners that we work with at Upgrowth as well, is you really empower your people to share amazing things, right? Like that case study I have shared with, I don't even know. I mean, now it's going to be thousands of people with this podcast, right? Because it's just so cool. And what creators want in our economy, like in this like business influencer space, I just want to share cool shit all the time. That's all I want to do. Right.
Right.
And so when you empower people like that and your affiliates like that, you can see what happens, right? And how we spread the word. So I think that's really interesting. And I'm glad that you went that route and talked about that. So yeah, super cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been great for us. Like anything that we can create that provides value, people usually will share it, like you said. And then when they're ready to choose an affiliate software, like hopefully we're top of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I just want to say too, from doing a lot of this research and also just so you know, in the background right now, I am building out a software recommendation platform that includes creators and all of these different things because there's so many issues like with particular softwares and knowing what to use and the amount of different affiliate programs that I've tested out is insane. And I finally was just like, oh, I guess I'll just use Collabs because it's free and then realizing, oh, there's such a better way. I finally found the right one. And yet all of us have to go through, you know, how much wasted time and money before we find the right platform. So anyway, that's one of the problems I'm hopefully going to be solving in the next 2 to 3 months for you guys out there. Noah, any other tidbits before I get to my last 3 questions?
No, hit me.
Do you have any good deals for our audience
I
before
will.
that?
Okay, so I didn't know I was going to be doing this, but I will give an extended free trial to anyone that signs up through you. So we usually do 30 days. We'll do 60 days. Or if if they don't really care about free trials, we'll give them 10% off lifetime. Anyone who comes
Oh,
through your podcast. So they can
okay.
choose.
You just tell them Jordan sent you guys. Okay. That's great, Noah. Awesome. We're going to get to our last few questions here. And guys, remember everything that Noah and I have talked about today will be down in the show notes. All the links, everything that we've talked about will be down there. We are religious when it comes to having everything down in the show notes. Noah, first question for you. Favorite tool or apps that you're using right now besides Social Snowball?
Okay, good question. So I'm a huge productivity app nerd. Like I really love like Superhuman for email. I love
Yeah.
Arc, like the browser.
Yeah.
Anything that's like a really nice UI that just make my life even just like a slightly bit like easier. I'm a huge nerd for that. So those would be the two that I would say like I use every day. And even though like it's such a small change of like using Gmail versus Superhuman or Google Chrome versus Arc, like I noticed that I take advantage of their features and it definitely helps in my day-to-day workflow.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think the thing with those two in particular is it's like focus, right? It allows you to look really focused. I heard Walter Isaacson talking on Lex Friedman about Elon Musk. Sorry, three big names there. Anyway, Elon, what he does, it's like, like how does he actually run multiple billion-dollar companies, right? And have that vision incredibly effective. And for him, it's just about focus, right? He didn't bring his phone in to these meetings. He has an hour where all that he does is focus on that one problem that he's trying to solve within there. And that's it's really difficult for a lot of us because I think most of us either have ADHD or don't know that we do. And as entrepreneurs and just like constantly are like everywhere, all over the place. And so having tools that help you focus are amazing. For me lately, Apple's focus modes actually are incredible. I just don't get notifications throughout the day when I'm
Yeah,
in
that's
work mode.
nice.
It's like the most incredible thing. So,
That's great. Oh, and
uh,
another one, actually, one more tool.
yes.
This is a little bit more niche, but it's called Mantle and it's super new. And it's basically like analytics and reporting and even some like CRM functionality, but for Shopify apps specifically. And I don't know if any of
Oh,
the audience has a Shopify app that they're
oh,
working
yes, they
for or
do.
that they own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So huge problem for Shopify apps is like lack of reporting and just like RevOps stuff in general because of Shopify's billing APIs. There's just very limited integrations.
Okay.
Mantle is the first tool that I found that I'm like, wow, these guys really get the problem. And they're all ex Shopify, so it makes sense. And they're building some incredible stuff. We're like one of their early customers, and I'm obsessed. I'm just fully obsessed. It's rare that a tool comes along that gets me so excited. I think it's like again a little bit niche. Only if you have a Shopify app is this relevant, but like this has been a game changer for us.
I saw somebody share about that on Twitter over the weekend, and I actually went into it. I don't have any Shopify apps yet, but I was like, man, I want to get a Shopify app just so I can use this. So
Legit. Yeah, it's awesome.
that's great. A second question for you. Favorite podcast or audiobook you're listening to right now?
Yeah. So I'm really loyal to Rob Walling's podcast, Startups for the Rest of Us. It's
Mm,
about building profitable startups, bootstrapping. Social Snowball is also a bootstrap company. And I've learned so much from this podcast. It's not e-commerce focused at all. So, maybe not as relevant to the audience as well, but me, building a software startup, there's such limited content that, is really relevant to what I'm doing. And this has been just so relevant that it's definitely helped me a ton. As far as e-commerce podcasts though, like I've been listening to Limited Supply, Chew on This, trying to think of other ones. Those would probably be the biggest
the
ones.
usual suspect.
Yeah, the classics.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yes. So I I don't normally pile on to points nearly as much as I am today, Noah, but I'm really loving our conversation here. One thing I want to talk about with what you said on the first one of like, oh, hey, it's not e-commerce focused. I think what you find as you're in the game a little bit longer is that when you listen to those podcasts, and this is an e-com specific podcast here, that a lot of times we get into a lot of really tactical things, and sometimes you'll actually step out into bigger kind of business podcasts and realize that these are more strategic, right? And more principle based. I like to offer a lot of principles in this podcast too, but it's really important not to get too stuck in the minutia of tactics and more step back because you'll be able to see things in a different sort of way. So I just wanted to just put that point out there for people that I found that incredibly helpful and important over the years.
Yeah, agreed.
Awesome. Perfect. Noah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone to come on here and agree with me. So thank you.
I'm good at
Last
that.
question for you. You just found out that you have a year to live. What changes?
Oh, wow. I don't know. That's a really good question. I guess I would just really prioritize the things that are most important to me. So I genuinely love building business. Like this is the most fun I've ever had. Every day I wake up with a smile and I can't sleep because my mind is racing with ideas. So I don't think I would stop building Social Snowball, but I would definitely prioritize family, friends, just spending time with loved ones in general. I would try to travel to every place that I haven't seen yet. These are probably the most cliche answers possible, but that's definitely what I would do. But I wouldn't just say like, oh, there's no point in building because, money doesn't matter anymore. I genuinely have so much fun building that like I would keep my foot on the gas with Social Snowball for that last year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. I love your answers, Noah. I don't think I've ever shared this on the podcast. I had a good friend of mine last year. I found out like last summer, have terminal cancer. He's only 40. And so he just like lived it up. And they said, like, yeah, you're not going, you're not going to survive this. And he just like went on trips with his family. He continued to actually work during this time, which is really interesting. He's like, yeah, I just want to keep going to work 2 or 3 days a week, and really impactful work that he was doing, and just incredible times with his family. And his family just never knew when the time was going to be that he'd just have a really downhill turn, and that would be it. And just recently had a scan like he does, I don't know, once a month or something. And they're like, so your cancer's gone.
Wow.
And it's incredible because he got to have that. He got to have that year and a half of like just living knowing you were going to like really die at some point. And there's something in there that's like he's a changed person. He's a totally different person.
I
And
bet. I bet.
yeah, so it's an encouragement for everybody listening to this that like you could start that now.
Yeah.
So
No, that's powerful. That's crazy. What a cool story.
yeah, yeah, it's super cool. Noah, thanks so much for coming on, and this was awesome to get to chat and just have a conversation back and forth like this. Where can people reach out to you, and then where can they sign up for Social Snowball?
Yeah. So definitely reach out to me. I love talking about this stuff. The best place to find me is Twitter. So my Instagram or my Twitter handle is Noah Tuck. I'm sure you could link that in the show notes as well. And then for
Yeah,
Social Snowball, just our website, socialsnowball.io. Grab a demo or you can just install it from the Shopify App Store as well. And yeah, we'll help you get set up.
yeah, yeah. Their team is absolutely phenomenal, guys. Definitely recommend doing a demo and actually like walking through how incredibly powerful it is. So, Noah, thank you again so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.